Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. Today we talk about farming opportunities, some opportunities that you might be able to use. We thank you for your company. We have with us Mr. Neil Curtis, who is the Executive Director of a project called Farm Up Jamaica. He's a Jamaican living in the United States, part of our important diaspora community. And this is an initiative to help his country. He tells us more. Good to have you, Neil. Farm Up Jamaica. Tell us about the origin of this. How did you conceptualize it, and what were the circumstances surrounding that?
Well, in 2013, I came to Jamaica to a funeral from my uncle. And when I came, they left, when he passed on, he was the last heir here in Jamaica, and they left to me 60 acres of cocoa.
Oh, good inheritance.
Yes. And I didn't know what to do with that cocoa.
To do with it.
So I went out and started to ask questions about how do I grow cocoa, and the farmers in the area were telling me that there was really no assistance for them to get the cocoa going and what have you. So I decided to go to the diaspora conference, which was happening at the same time.
Yes, that's right.
In 2013. And I met with some other diaspora. I spoke to them about cocoa. But then I also realized that everybody in that room was speaking about individual projects and not so much the common good of Jamaica. So I just took a step back and said, you know something, we need to talk about something that's going to benefit the whole country.
I see.
Instead of me talking about my cocoa, instead of you talking about your house or your goats. And then, you know, a few diaspora came together. We went back to our places where we were living. Well, some people went to UK, some to Florida, Jersey. I went back to New York, and we started dialoguing on the phone. And we came up with this idea of how the diaspora could measurably assist Jamaica and do our part other than just sending home remittances.
Precisely. That doesn't help as much as having actual investments and investments in the ground.
Exactly.
Literally. So tell us how this project works. I think one of your main objectives is to cut down on the food importation in Jamaica.
Yeah, so the mission of the organization is to help reduce the importation of foreign food into Jamaica, increase Jamaica's exports, and create green jobs for young individuals.
Three important objectives.
And we're doing that, technically, doing that right now. The project works as follows. You have a piece of land. Let's say I have 10 acres of land. Most farmers that we meet, although they have 10 acres of land, they're only farming 1 or 2 acres of land. Our project is an organic project, so we are only doing organic food.
Just organic food?
Only organic food, simply because the market for organic food abroad is huge. America is importing 90% of its organic food into the country and only producing 10% on the ground. So that's a huge opportunity for Jamaica, because there's a shortage now of organic food, although they're importing that much. It's a $40 billion US market. It's something that we've researched and made decisions on going in that direction. So we've decided that we're gonna do this organic farming. We brought the farmers that were directed to us. We actually met with JAMPRO. Right, and then we met with the Ministry of Agriculture.
I see.
And we turned in some documentation to them, and they looked at it and they said, well, we've never seen anything like this before. The proposal. And they said, look, you know, go ahead, launch it. So we asked them, well, where can we find some good, reliable farmers that we could give some farmer assistance to? As a farm assistance program. And they directed us down to the breadbasket of Jamaica, which is St. Elizabeth, South Manchester border, that area there. And when we got there, we met with the farmers and we got everybody working. We started to grow onions and we started.
About how many farmers you're working with?
In that particular area, we started to work with about 4 farmers. Was one main farmer and then 4 sub-farmers. But throughout the time now, we've kind of moved off of so much of the farmers and into the agriculture students. the young people that are interested in agriculture. Because we don't see where the old farmers can pass the baton to anyone at this point. And most farmers are over 60 years old. So we're seeing that once these farmers die off, you're going to have an increase in importation of food into the country, because the things that they are producing will be no more.
So you're concentrating on the young soldiers.
We call them young soldiers for food security. And we're very focused on them. And we've been taking them out of the Heart Trust Academy down in Ebony Park. I see. And putting them on the farms, learning organic farm techniques, and getting them going in that direction.
You're putting them on the farm. So you identify lands? Tell me how you get the lands.
Okay, so remember I told you about the bread basket?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a test farm at that location. We don't really grow abundance of food there, but we test different items that people have told us wouldn't grow in Jamaica. Right? So we look at things like red cabbage, or broccoli, cauliflower, all organic. Certain types of onions.
And you have proven that they can be grown here?
100%. As a matter of fact, we're at a point where we did some green peppers just a month ago. And we did the green peppers with no organic fertilizers, no organic pest controls at all. Just reconstructed the soil using some ancient techniques. And we put the seedlings in, and within 30 days we had full-size peppers. That would normally take 90 days
and
to grow.
Organic?
Completely organic. Sunlight and water. That was sunlight and water. Now you have organic that is not just sunlight and water, that we still practice. Where we use manures, how we use organic or natural herbicides, natural pesticides, things that are made from the earth, are biodegradable. And what you'll realize is that plant life likes those types of products because it's able to absorb them. Right? So a lot of the things that might be more harsh, the plant life doesn't absorb as well. So you'll realize they have a higher concentrate of nitrogen in an inorganic fertilizer than you would have in an organic fertilizer, because the organic fertilizer is being absorbed at 100% by the plant.
Tell us how big you envisage this Farm Up Jamaica program to be, how big it can become. What is your vision for it?
Okay.
Where it is now and where you're going to push it.
So within the first year of us coming here,
I want to take a break at this point. Neil Curtis runs Farm Up Jamaica, an innovative and exciting program which provides opportunities for the country as well as for agricultural students and farmers. He tells us more when we come back from our break.
Businessmen and women, members of the MSMEs, no longer do you have to visit several government agencies to register a company or business name. Visit the COJ. They are willing and prepared to assist you in filling out the new business registration form, more commonly known as the super form.
The overwhelming response from the majority of our customers is, why did this take so long to happen? There are persons who actually waited until January 2nd to come here to do their business because they wanted to avoid going to multiple government departments.
Click on ocrjamaica.com for more details.
We're talking about opportunities in farming, and we have with us Mr. Neil Curtis, who is the Executive Director of Farm Up Jamaica. This is a project that came out of the Diaspora Conference. Neil lives in New York and he spends a lot of time in Jamaica interacting with our farmers. And I was asking at the break, Neil, just briefly where you are now and where you intend to take Farm Up Jamaica. How big a potential is this?
Well, I'd say it has a large potential, wide potential, simply because I believe that the same situations that we are combating and finding solutions for here in Jamaica are existing in other countries, like Haiti, like Europe even. And we've been contacted by higher level organizations that they have said to us, we are watching you.
Is that so?
Yeah, and we
They're
like
looking at this as a
watching this as a
as a
boilerplate
Oh.
to try and put it. They said they love what we are doing, and not only that, but they even are offering us to come on board and are even offering funds for us to get this work accomplished, because it means more to them than us just growing and to reduce importation of Jamaica. But now they can see that this can be done in other countries, and I've even been asked if I would come to another country to actually do the same exact thing that we are doing. But I told them, Jamaica first.
So you want the country?
Yeah, and I think that once the whole model is built out here in Jamaica, then yes, we can start to talk. So you ask, how big do we see it becoming? I think it could be a Red Cross type situation for farmers worldwide, where, it's basically taking things step by step, evaluating what the actual problem is, and coming up with a measurable solution that actually answers the question and creates economy for local and international
So tell me how it
markets.
works in terms of the farmers. So say I have 3 acres and so on. Well, I contact you, then you contract me and perhaps ask me to link up with some other farmers, because you can't carry a big truck for just a few items. Tell me how would that work? Now, I have my little 1 or 3 acre.
All right, so you have 1 acre.
And I'm doing peppers, for example.
You have 1 acre,
Yeah.
and you want to do pepper.
I want to do
and
pepper.
your land, we've tested the soil. We know that peppers are the right crop for
that.
your area.
Yes.
So normally what we would do is then we would put a few more farmers together in your area, up to about 25 acres.
I see, you want that.
And then now we will launch into that area a program that will allow them to have access to everything that they need to be successful in farming
Like
peppers.
what? Okay.
Organic seeds,
You give the seeds.
organic fertilizer, organic pest control, access to labor, access to a market to sell their peppers to, which is first and foremost,
important.
even before the seeds.
You give the market.
No, they have them. We bring the market. All right, so we already know where those peppers are going before you plant 1 seed. And we are contracted with that market. And now we're going to contract you, the farmer, to make sure that you produce that amount of peppers for us over the course of the contract period.
Seems like something I could go in.
Yes.
I could identify some lands. You're making it attractive. You give me all the things.
Everything.
You give me the technical assistance.
Technical assistance,
training.
training,
You give me
organic farm training.
that. Where have I set up on that? Yes.
Yes, which we have local partners that we use that have been doing this training for many years here in Jamaica. We put you together with them. We basically
And you come and collect my products.
we come and we
Collect
we have to
and sell it.
We build into those areas packing facilities and places where people go and make sure that the product is up to par. It has to meet organic standards, both in food quality and the packing. Everything about it has to be organic. So when we say organic, that's a whole nother thing. We're talking about food that is grown with organic farm practices. Some food here in Jamaica won't have an organic certification per se. But again, just using the practices of no pesticide, no artificial, no inorganic fertilizers or herbicides are the practices that we're using. Now, if we have an external market and we're going to sell organic food to it, we will get an international organic certification for your farming group. That means that
So you work with Bureau of Standards to get that?
Work with the Bureau, you work with the Bureau of Standards to get that, and then you have independent organizations that do the certification. For like the USDA.
Yes.
And of course the European market.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a bit of both. When you're doing local certification, you're going to use your Bureau of Standards, but of course the international certification would come from an international.
And you have links with those organizations?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we just had about 100 acres of ginger and turmeric surveyed by one of those organizations for certification.
Yes. And you have a program with NCU?
Right. So we work We have partners,
Partners,
who are
yeah,
here on the
partners.
ground. One of our partners is NCU. I'd say one of our biggest partners right now. NCU has about 1,200 acres of land in Goshen.
Yeah.
We have partnered with them to grow onions, to help reduce the importation of onions by 20% within the next 2 years. They're on board. We're on board with the Ministry of Agriculture, because they have come down there and loved what we are doing down there, and actually have also lent a hand in the land clearance and things like that. And in addition to that, we are working with the IDB and awaiting financing to complete that project.
Oh, okay.
So it's a huge project.
Huge project.
It's a huge project, and it will bring a lot of international volunteers in from all around the world. That's going to be giving expertise on how to grow onions. It's going to bring together, it's actually 10 camps of 10-acre plots. And each one has about 60% Jamaican and then 40% international people included in the whole mix. So each camp has about 10 people that run each 10-acre camp.
Great project, Farm Up Jamaica. For those who think that nothing comes out of these diaspora conferences, this project is a resounding answer to that. Neil Curtis did take his idea through diaspora conference to implementation. There are Jamaicans abroad who are interested in their country and who are making their contributions. Neil Curtis is one of those persons. Catch us next week when we'll be back. Until then, Ian Boyne wishing you a pleasant day.